Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today as we go into the Crabman house. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't need to break this lock anymore, or padlock or whatever, because we have the key. Heavy wooden doors more than twice your height stand shut in front of you. The regular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock carelessly drilled into the wood. And nailed, as we have found out. Let's open the padlock. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open. Let's go. The lieutenant nods at you. Let's pull on the doors. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city. Why was it in the heart of the city? Is that a reference to something? Also, yes. That is really cool. Also, we have possibly people living here. This looks really cool. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Well, I can do that. I usually run a lot. This grotesque wooden figure looks half-finished. It feels like it's trying to become one with the church. Were they carving a figurine into the column over there? They were. Look at that. There's another one over there. You can see a butt. The other one, I couldn't see anything. And where there's a butt, there's a person. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Did I? It was described, I just didn't give it much thought. Oh no, don't run! I don't know if that actually matters. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies. Yeah, there's something over there. There's cables on the floor. There's something here for me to investigate. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All of the shifting matter and the shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. Yeah, the way the wood is made, it makes me think this might be a sort of an auditorium of sorts. I'm not really sure. Wait, I think I still hear something, though. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems that the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. I'm gonna stomp my feet and clap my hands instead of yelling. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total somehow. And I'm gonna yell as loud as I can. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. What's happening? I'm gonna turn to Kim. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head, and then he leans closer. Can you hear anything? He says. I think I know what this is supposed to be. It's consistent enough that I would think it is. My interpretation is correct. This is a noise. The game has gone completely silent, by the way. This is a noise reductor. Potentially. Because look at that. The silence feels even more total. The softest of whimpers, barely audible. That's how sound reduction, or I say sound reduction, but basically sound nullification, works. The way sound works is just with waves, right? So you have, no sound whatsoever. And then when things are, I say waves, but the sound does travel in waves, but it is the frequency that creates the sound. But what happens is that because the frequency goes right and left very fast, if you can create another sound that is the opposite of that, and where it just goes left and right very fast, at the same rate, it cancels each other out, so there's no sound, and that's how noise reducing or not noise suppressing headphones work. I don't actually know how it's said in English. I've heard it. I don't have any of those. But yeah, that's how they work. If you ever been in like in an airplane and you have your noise reductor headphones on, and you can't hear the noise of the plane anymore, but that's because it's actually a very easy noise to replicate, and it's just the opposite of it. And so there's literally no sound coming into your ears. Well, it's not quite as simple as that because there's also noise bleed from your skull at the very least. But still, that's the principle of it. Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me. Let's go with that. The church just has strange acoustics. Some engineering trick, says Kim. His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is, says our empathy. Whatever it is, it's definitely real, I'm gonna say. Something odd is happening around us. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. I'm gonna look into the bell tower. Ooh, perception sight. I might be able to do something with that. It's a white check. I can't try it again if I equip anything that adds to perception, though, so we'll see. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible and then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. And what if I don't want to know what's up there? That's a perception check. Let's remember that. Nope, I have to. The silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you as a cocoon. You cannot move anymore. Yeah, and I can't access my inventory either, which is a big bummer, honestly. Please win. No, of course I don't. Oh well. The failures are also part of the game. Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. What's the darkness like? I'm gonna ask. Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense of a great height. It's like you see your own face, says our inland empire, reflected back at you in the vanishing geometry of a strange alien image. A strange alien image that's supposed to be you. I'm gonna try to make anything out. There is nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising. Officer, what are you looking at? He follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing. I'm gonna blink. You see something hanging from the rafters. Oh, his name is Tiago. That's my name. Something from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it? I think it is. But first let me check whatever this is, because there's money in there. A bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. This is what we heard from outside. Could these wires work as contact microphones? They potentially could. I actually don't know what a contact microphone is. I know they exist, but I don't know how it works. It might be a misnomer. Or not necessarily a misnomer, but it might be just... You know, some things are called a thing, but they're not really. Like, I don't know. Peanuts are not peas or nuts, and that's basically it. There's a lot of things like that, but a contact microphone might not be a microphone, is what I mean to say. Hey, Tiago, what's up? Get back down here. You idiot. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building. Came alive and is now studying you intently. The Crabman, says our reaction speed. I'm gonna say nothing and be quiet for now, because that's what I was doing before, but I'm just gonna continue doing it for as long as the game lets me, honestly, because I don't see any reason why things should change, but I think they might change. In the sense that I will still be saying nothing and be quiet, but he might do something about it. The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, and then speaks.
I bet your alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You've come to the right place.
He has a very strong Spanish accent. I Tiago might be the... I don't think there is a Spanish name for Tiago. The Portuguese name comes from... yeah, the Spanish would be more likely just Diego, which is a different version of the name. Tiago comes from Santiago, which is a more common name and a very common name, both in Portuguese and not common in Portuguese, but common in Spanish for sure. And Santiago is not a saint. That's a name that is unrelated to the saint. Saint James would be, but just throughout the ages, people just go like that and just, oh, that must be Saint Tiago. Or São Tiago, how it would be in Portuguese. I don't know how it would be in Spanish, but still. It's another one of those cases where I think this game just confuses Portuguese with Spanish, and especially in the accent side of things. His accent is clearly Spanish. Besides the Holmes over here. Isn't it Holmes with an L? I actually don't know what that stands for. So I just don't know. I always thought it was like Holmes, but then again, and either way, he said something where he ate the last bit of the word, and that's something that Portuguese-speaking people, including the people from outside of Portugal, like the Brazilians, they tend not to do. Brazilian person tends to give a lot of like, for example, right. A Spanish-speaking person will say "rai" and just drop the T at the end. Or, not necessarily say that all the time, but will tend to do that. Whereas a Portuguese person, especially a Brazilian person, they also speak Portuguese. They would give a lot of emphasis on the right. Brazilian accent would be raichi, which is really, really deep. I like if a Brazilian Portuguese speaking person were to say the word right, they would have to force themselves to not say raichi, because that's just so natural to the language. Whereas in Portuguese, you'd still have a very strong right. It's just like a very t at the end, but still. It's very easy to tell for me, but it might not be easy to tell for other people. He says you've come to the right place. The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love, and when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
The lieutenant whispers to you quietly. This man... habitual narcotics user. Well, don't we have a mission? No, we don't really have a mission anymore about the drugs. Tomorrow we need to talk to the boat lady, but if he has info on the drugs, we might be able to question him. Hiccups and all. I was having hiccups, I'm sorry. Says our esprit de corps kicks in. I'm put off. Oh no, wait, that's Kim who's saying this, but just through our esprit de corps. I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks, and maybe the ceiling climbing too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. I'm not really sure where the religion and narcotics come in together, but maybe. Our electrochemistry, on the other hand, on an easy success, says, hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh. Yeah, I haven't drank at all since I woke up from my trauma or whatever happened. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately. Oh, is he doing, what's the word? Is he doing... You can receive mother's love, and when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the bottle. He might have been able to tell that just from my face. And more realistically speaking, from my eyes. Because if I have liver damage, my eyes are going to be yellow, or the white of my eyes is going to be yellow. It's usually a telltale sign of liver damage. Which might not be because of the alcoholism, but, it's just... It's this setting, and he probably knows the setting better than I do. Definitely knows the setting better than I do, considering he's a character in a video game, so definitely he does. But the point is he doing that thing that, what's the word? I don't know the name of the word. Scam artists, but not all of them. I don't, like, specifically scam artists, but there's another word that I was trying to say, but scam artists don't need to be that thing that I was trying to say. The thing scam artists do where they just sort of read into clues and just say generic things and look into how you reply to those generic things so they can like dig into it already, or dig into what you say. I was reading already over there. Just dig into it slowly, but you know, just sort of being able to pretend that they know you better than they actually do know you. Because this seems pretty generic. I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately. But
Estás crudo, eh? I see deep inside you. Your body and spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
yeah, that's not the Spanish word for estas, because that one doesn't have the accent. That's the Portuguese word. Yeah, he's supposed to be Portuguese, which I figured anyway, because of the name, but also not just that. Estás crudo. I don't know what crudo means, but that could be raw. Could be. I don't think that's a Portuguese word. It might be a mistranslation for like an archaic word. Way. It says way. What is that? What is that supposed to be? But look at that. I see deep inside of you, he says. Let's try and lead him into... Let's try and let him say the things he says. So let's just, humor him. I'm very out of touch with my suffering. How do you know what I'm feeling? Oh, let's go with that. That sounds... let's see. I'm actually here on behalf of some young people. No, let's go with this one. How do you know what I'm feeling?
I was like you once, just dragging my feet to the next bottle. Shit was dark, Holmes.
He's completely skipped the k sound of like. He just says, I was like you. Which is the thing that Spanish speakers do as they speak English. But it's just like, it's phenomenal. I really enjoy the Spanish accent. It is a little bit hard to understand though. So, yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
I am, Kim. Look at these crazies. What is this shit? Says our electrochemistry. For some reason, I feel like you have a point here. I'm not sure who I'm talking to, though. I wish it is to Tiago, talking to Tiago up there, rather than Kim. But let's find out.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in. He also raised this volume quite a lot, and, interesting. You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Says our rhetoric. That actually could be a thing. Trust the mother. Whatever it is, says our composer, is quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. It's not an act, my liege, says Drama. Saving perchance, my throat. Save my throat. My voice was disappearing. Anyway, saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot. Do you know where the other spooker is? I'm gonna point at the strange machines around you. Other spooker? Oh. Essa viejita. This is a mixture of all the things. Maybe it isn't supposed to be Portuguese. Maybe it's supposed to be just a language. Essa viejita muy estudiosa. He laughs. Dunno, Holmes. Viejita is grandma? Is it? I suppose maybe it is. So there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita? No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. He scratches his head. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear. Wait, what if it's Ruby, says our reaction speed. The lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. He takes out his little notebook. Did it ever seem to you that she was hiding here from something? You mean like a fugitive? He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light. Then he shakes his head. Nah, man, quite the opposite. I don't think she cares much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines. I see. The lieutenant seems contented with the answer. And where is she now? I told you, Holmes, I don't know. How can you not know when you both live here? Don't really follow her comings and goings, he says. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We've got different interests. So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she is? I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or... He shrugs. Or search through her radio computer. That's our reaction speed talking. Yeah. By the way, some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. The ones in the tent outside, right? I seen them. Think they're scared of me. Wait, do they have a reason to be scared? Nah, man. They look pretty funny, and I don't harm no one anymore anyway. So what do you think about the nightclub? Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. He said that in spite of himself, says our empathy, he's more attached to the human than that he'd like to think. So he must be the crab man. Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you've got for me, I won't stop you from using it. To be fair, it's really more like a spider. He considers this for a moment. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique. It's not the only technique he's working on, says our logic. Look at those carved sculptures, and is that a satchel of tools over there? Wait, did you also carve all those sculptures? I'm gonna point at the nearest pillar. Sure am, he says, replying to a question that I didn't ask. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness. These seem a tad derivative, though. I'm gonna squint my eyes. It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. I suppose that's fair enough. I did get a new thing over here. Wasteland of Reality. With a space between waste and land? Really? That's weird. It has been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that it's a sickness. It's a... Is it called a sickness? That's not a sickness. It's called a different thing. It's not a pathology. What is it? It's got a... I don't know what the definition is, though. It's just, you know, because it's not the... An alcoholic doesn't have... How... Because you can be dry... And I say dry, I think we talked about this before in this Let's Play. I say dry. You can have not drank alcohol in years, and you're still an alcoholic. It's still... You still have that... pathology? I don't know if it's a pathology. I wouldn't think it is. And it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit. I can't internalize that. But, is this what my skill points are? Because I think that is. So we're gonna unlock the, this. It is, and we're gonna internalize that. So that's gonna reduce my physical instrument due to insomnia. Temporary research bonus. That's not a bonus, at all, unfortunately. But we're gonna go with that. And date of birth generator, and we've seen these before. But we can't do anything about our skills from here. No, we can. Yeah, it says the skill points over there. We're not going to bother with those for the moment. We're just going to increase them if we need them. Tiago says, it's all just the mother, man. No need to overthink it. Or, it's all just for the mother. What were you before you became a crab man and a wood carver? I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. I'm gonna shake my head. So many people losing their memory. A certain portent of doom. Nah, essay. It's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory. Do you remember your name, sir? Asks Kim. Tiago is my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place among your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. Your name is not an identity at all, to be fair. I mean, suppose it could be, if you're really attached to your name. Especially if you, instead of being a given name, it might be a chosen name. The only way to define name as being identity is to define identity as being an identifier rather than the identified, which is definitely a way of looking at things. But I think it has, well, there's a name for that. There's a name for that duality of thinking, and I forget the name of. It's tied to linguistics as well. So I wonder if different languages, or basically people that speak different languages, have a different relationship to their name because of their language. But you know what I mean? Like, what is your identity? Is it your name in the sense that your name identifies you? Or is it the thing that your name identifies? Like your name identifies your identity as a way of saying. I say this because, like, even saying my name right here, that's my name. When I said before, I noticed, I didn't say anything about it, but the way I treat names, because I am a native speaker of Portuguese, is different from the way I treat names in English. And specifically here, the way I treat English names. Or not just English names, but generally, like Kim. Well, Kim is also an English name, but Japanese inspired at the very least anyway. Kim Kitsuragi, the way I treat that is also different. Because I said something, let's ask Tiago over there. And that doesn't feel right when I say it like that. Because in Portuguese, we always have a pronoun before the name. We say... we don't, not always. If you want to be formal, you don't have that. But it also changes the way I and Portuguese speakers treat names. So you'd have to say something akin to let's ask the Tiago, which the is a pronoun. In English and in Portuguese, there's different pronouns depending on gender. But still, the idea that language affects how you think of names is an interesting thing. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this, because this is honestly some of the most interesting, not debates, I suppose, but like questions that I raise to myself and have seen in video games throughout these last 5 years of doing YouTube, because it has been 5 years now. By the time, well, actually today is the 30th. Yeah, I think 30th of May, 30th, 30th of May 2015 was when I uploaded my first video. And yeah, that's when I'm recording this episode. But that's not when this episode goes live. And that's not when the next episode goes live. It might be live already, and if it is, it's up here. If it's not, well, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.